I like this one better than Doom.
I would say that that's fair, but I gotta stick by my guns.
I like this better. My order now, in order, is the best one by far, Last Crusade.
Yes.
Right, followed right by Raiders.
Yep.
Then this, then Doom, then Crystal Skull doesn't exist, and everybody's happy. Okay, I'm done.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Once again, we are in the car. We have just finished watching a film. Although we went to a different movie theater than we usually do, so we are just parked somewhere. Anyway, the film that we saw today was none other than the adventure action event of the summer, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. We're both huge Indiana Jones fans, so this should be an interesting review, and we'll be giving you guys our honest insight, so stick around. And with that, DJ, 1 to 10, how much did you like this film?
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Ooh. Okay, why?
Because it was just good. It was enjoyable. The cinematography was really fun. A lot of the chase scenes and stuff that can carry on a little far. There were a couple that felt maybe a little too long, but they went right when I started to be like, okay, I'm ready for this to be over. It did. There's so many moments in this film where Indiana Jones feels like he's doing his thing, and when it feels out of his element, it feels earned. Mm-hmm. Again, cinematography is really good. The acting is really good. I really enjoyed the history, the integration with history, and sorry, I messed up before you say spoilers. Go ahead.
Okay, so for me personally, I could be kind of harsh with this film, or I could just say like overall enjoyment. I give the film overall, I would go with the 7.5. I knock a couple of points down just because it's not necessary. I think that Indiana Jones, like,
that's fair, but if they're going to make it,
and that's why I was like, I could be really harsh, or I could.
This is why I don't want to be harsh, because like that's my problem. Is like, well, why was this made? Well, the thing is it's good enough that it was worth it. If they can, I don't want to attack films that do it right.
Well, yeah, no, and that's the thing. It's like I said, I could be harsh, or I could lean more the other way. I give it a 7.5, but that's just because the intro is rough, in my opinion. Some of the stuff that happens in the intro is a little bit rough. Cinematography-wise, it's pretty good. It doesn't really feel like the original Indiana Jones movies. It kind of blends in classic Indiana Jones with Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls cinematography. So it's a different kind of cinematography. It's crisp.
It leans a little harder in the practical, which I like, but it still does use some CGI in places that were a little obnoxious, and I can get to that in spoilers.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason that I kind of knock some things, because there's some choices that they made that I think they could have done a little bit better. They could have tweaked it a little bit more. And also the other thing is that it's very clearly a Disney-fied Indiana Jones. It is shot like a Disney live-action film.
That's fair.
So it just has a little bit of a different feeling and stuff like that. I give it like I'll bump it up to an 8. Actually, I really enjoyed the film. I like the acting.
It was an
I like the
absolute
story.
blast.
Yeah, I like the.
I really enjoyed it.
Story.
There were a few moments. That's why I don't give it. I can't give it a 10, and I didn't even give it as high as Spider-Verse for a few reasons, and I'll get to that in the spoilers. But.
Yeah, there's stuff that's rough in it, but overall, I'm pleasantly surprised with the film. The other thing is that I went into the film thinking the worst, fearing the worst, just because Crystal Skull was really not that great of a film to begin with. Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford is very, very old, and I was just worried that they were going to do some weird things with the franchise. But overall, pleasantly surprised. It is an enjoyable film. I think that seeing it in theaters is definitely worth it as far as recommendations. If you haven't seen it, we recommend watching it in theaters before you finish our review, because after this point on, we will get into spoilers. So, Spoilers. Big freaking spoilers. Holy crap. Spoilers. Okay. The twist at the end was incredible. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's so much to unpack on this film. I don't even know. I don't want to do like a synopsis on it, but I do want to hit some of the spoiler points because, man, there is some stuff to hit on this thing. The opener, like you talked about,
Yeah.
I get what you're talking about. Like, the opener has young Indiana Jones, and there's a little uncanny valley in some parts where and there's some shots they do that specifically avoid showing his head or his face, so you could tell it's like a stunt double. Like, they have to do it because he's just too old to do it.
Well, yeah, and
all the shots that show him are all up close shots so that they can like CGI his head like younger.
And he's not like moving around
Yeah.
a bunch. There's a couple of scenes where like his head moves and it's just CGI blur.
Yeah.
Or there's parts in it where like literally like the thing that frustrates me, like I said, it's a little rough, is there's scenes in it where they show Indiana Jones running across the train, but it is 100% CGI.
Yep.
It looks like a CGI person running across the thing. And then later on, like 5 minutes later in the film, they have physical actors on top of the train running across the train, and it's an almost identical shot. So it's like, why did you CGI it? Why couldn't you have just been like, hey, stunt double number 1, Indiana Jones stunt double. Start back there.
That's actually part of the frustration, is they do stunt doubles several times and then CGI for others.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird choices. I think maybe they may have tried to do some corrections, I think, after the fact. But it's just some weird choices. But the CGI euthanization of Harrison Ford is beautifully done. It's just they keep having to do it where he's not moving very much.
Yeah.
So all the shots that show him are like close-up shots at at the same distance with a really well representation of his face.
And he doesn't move very fast, and most of the scenes and stuff aren't very
And
action-packed.
but it's this like old voice on his young body.
That was the other rough thing I was going to get at, is they couldn't have like. I understand like how difficult it is to replicate somebody's voice.
It sounds like they de-aged it a little bit, but they actually made it more uncanny because it sounds like an alien voice to his body.
Well, yeah, when he first like talks, and the other thing is that it looks incredible.
It is really well done.
Very, very well done. Like, yeah, because it is Harrison Ford.
Yeah. So that was the big technical thing.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of give it a 9. But the pacing is so well done. Like, they jump from point to point. There's a lot of like epic like deaths, or like they're probably dead moments. They kill Antonio Banderas. You can't kill Antonio Banderas. Oh, his scene was so tragic.
Yeah, his scene was pretty good though.
It was so good, but it was tragic. Like when he dies, I'm like, no. You meet this character, like just meet him. They do a really good job of endearing you to characters that you just met. That was so well done, and they made me feel for the kid. Like, I actually was concerned about the kid. The girl they bring in, like, she was really good. They don't make her like this. I was afraid that they were gonna make her like this Indiana Jones replacement. No, she's like a thief and a rogue character, and she butts with Indiana in a really good way.
The way that they put the two characters together, the two leads together, it's a very interesting dynamic because she has an understanding of Indiana Jones that is not true, and she kind of leans into the untrueness of it. Like, she calls him like a grave robber.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I did a bunch of these different things, and I'm not a grave robber. I didn't steal things. I try to bring things and put them in the museum.
Yeah.
That's like his entire thing, and it's always been his thing, but she has this horrible misunderstanding of the character, and so she has this, like, she's butting heads with him the entire time. It's a good dynamic.
She's like trying to hate him.
She's trying to sell everything to him. She's trying to hate him.
The villain was really good.
Yes, I liked the villain a lot. I liked a lot of the things. His motivations were really good, and like running into.
It's that
like,
foil obsession to Indy. This guy is just an obsessed. He's obsessed. He's obsessed with the dial, and he just. And he thinks he's going to be able to bring back the Nazis, but the twist is it turns out that the dial doesn't take you to any time period you want, or multiple time periods. It only takes you to one.
It's more of a.
It's a time loop. It is a time loop device. It is meant to bring you to an exact point in history.
It also hints at the ending before you even get to the ending.
Yes,
like it hints it very, very hard. Like when they found his Aristotle. Was it Aristotle?
No, it's not Aristotle.
Socrates?
It's nope.
Oh, I always get them all mixed
Archimedes.
up. Archimedes. When they find Archimedes' tomb, he has a watch, and he has on his tomb etched like a bird with propellers on it.
Yep.
And all of these different things that point out that he may have gone forward in the future and things like that. But
at that moment, I realized that they were going to go. Well, I realized that they were going to meet, like, go back in time somehow. But I wasn't sure how they were going to do it. So I was thinking it was going to be some, like, they just, like, run into him or something. The way they do it was way more epic than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
And it pulled the film together because they have a watch they find. I thought, I was like, oh, is that Indy's watch? But then when he pulls it out, I'm like, nope, that's not Indy's. Whose watch is that?
Yeah,
and it's
and
like
then
the
it shows
Nazi
the
guy.
Nazi putting that watch. Once the Nazi put the watch on, I was like, oh, he's going back in time.
Yeah.
So, very good twist, very good use of like a supernatural sci-fi element. It felt like an Indiana Jones adventure throughout, and not only that, like they do globetrotting and they hit all these different exotic locations.
Globetrotting was done well. It just felt
it felt like a classic Indiana Jones film. It's just a thing of it's not shot the same. It doesn't have the same heart behind it.
I agree with you with that, but I didn't expect that.
Well, no, they recreated it with a Disney twist.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing.
But it was enjoyable. Like the closing moment when Marion comes back to him is like, I heard you back. Are you back? Is it you again? Because he was like, he couldn't console her, but it turns out he was the one that broke. He lost himself. And that adventure brought himself back, and now he can be himself again. And that was a really good, like, ending moment.
No, the ending moment, I'm not going to lie, almost made me cry. It feels right. And when she shows up, and John Williams I love that man. And when he dies, it'll be a terrible tragedy, and I hope that we celebrate his life every year. But anyway, Marion comes in, you kind of get hints of the theme. Like, Marion has her own theme. It's actually half of Indiana Jones' theme.
Mm-hmm.
So they're meant to be together. They start like recreating the scene where like they're in the ship and he's like, oh, everything hurts, and she's like, well, what doesn't hurt? And he's puts in his elbow, and then they end up kissing and stuff like that. So they start doing that, but it's Marion talking to Indy, and then Marion's theme starts playing, and it's a beautiful cinematic moment.
But it is a good closure to a story. And the new character, the girl, like, she's great. I don't remember the actress who plays her. I can't remember for some reason.
Helena is her name in the movie.
But Helena, yeah,
she's a good.
She was great, and she was a good character for this. And she's not quite moved forward, which is actually really interesting. It'd be a fun way that you could take, because I don't know if Harrison Ford could do another Indiana Jones without him being like on his deathbed. But
no, this is the last time he's going to play Indiana Jones.
But I would love to see a continuation of like her character. I just don't know what it would be, because I don't know that you can do Indiana Jones with her, but you could do something with her. I just don't know what they would do. Maybe like a Nathan Drake style like globetrotting thing. It would be a great way to spin off the series by pay homage to it without touching it and ruining it. But I'm afraid that's what they'll do.
Yeah,
we'll see. I don't know. I'm impressed with this.
I mean, I kind of hope this is the end of the Indiana Jones story arc. I want more stories like Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. I'm saying like
that's what
I think this should be the end of the.
Let Indiana Jones die. Let his character die. But let this spin off something from that world, from that idea.
Yeah.
I would be okay with her doing something like that. What I'd actually kind of like to see, and I know we're running along, but I would actually kind of like to see them do a Leverage style thing, or like where they get a group of people that were inspired by Indiana Jones to like take his legacy. So you get like her. Unfortunately, Mutt's dead, so they can't use him. But you get some of these characters like that boy, her,
Saul's kid,
yes,
grandkids.
Yeah, some of these people that were around him. Maybe Antonio Banderas' character, like these people who he's touched so many lives, like get together and they meet like at his funeral or something, and they all just kind of like reminiscing, and like the next generation is like, hey, we could do this, and then they just do their own, but in their own way, like a different way of doing it.
Yeah, like that could be interesting.
I would love to see something like that, like with Leverage, where they get together to do like this deal, and they're like, well, we actually work really well together, we can do more of this. But it's but take these characters from different backgrounds and have them try to work together in Indy's legacy, but they all take like Indy differently. Like, she sees him as a goddaughter, but she's like a thief. And then you have another character who's like, I like the archaeology thing, and then somebody else is like, and you just have different ideas of the character spread across a group of people would be kind of entertaining.
There's a lot.
Feel free to steal my idea, Hollywood. Just make it better.
That's fair.
Just make it good. I don't care. Just make it good.
Yeah.
Just put a little thing at the end, like based off of the idea by this one guy randomly on YouTube that one time, and I'll be happy. Yeah.
Personally, Indiana Jones 1, 2, 3, perfect films. 4 and 5.
2 is not a perfect film.
It's a perfect film within the trilogy.
Oh gosh. Okay.
It has its issues.
It has a lot of issues.
It is the worst of the trilogy.
It is the worst of the trilogy.
I admit that. But it has good parts in it.
It has a lot of good parts in it. It just has...
It's still a fun Indiana Jones film.
So is this.
It's just weird.
I like this one better than Doom.
I would say that that's fair, but I gotta stick by my guns.
I like this better. My order now, in order, is the best one, by far, Last Crusade.
Yes.
Right, followed right by Raiders.
Yep.
Then this, then Doom, then Crystal Skull doesn't exist and everybody's happy. Okay, I'm done.
4 and 5 are fan fiction.
5 is great.
It's good. I'm messing with you at this point.
Crystal Skull is straight fan fiction.
This is straight fan fiction.
that is like, what would Indiana Jones be like if like some rando on the internet got a hold of it? This. Okay, go ahead, close this out.
All right. Sorry guys, we went a little bit longer, but like I said, we're massive nerds. We love Indiana Jones. This was a good film. It deserves to be talked about. There's so much to unpack with this film. It is just very enjoyable. Like, it's not like a great like artistic thing that needs to be unpacked, but
it's just fun.
It's fun, and it's
fun.
It's tied into a great franchise, and it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, by a lot. I was pleasantly surprised, which is what I was hoping.
Yeah, we made predictions before filming. We made a list of predictions. Both of our prediction lists were pretty pessimistic.
And we were wrong on virtually everything, and it was a good thing that we were.
Yes, it was very good that it was wrong. But that beginning part, man, I started seeing all this stuff lining, like the stars aligning, and me being like, oh my gosh, I know Disney's formula.
The beginning, that was part of the problem, is the beginning kind of set us up for failure, but then it paid off in the end. So
yeah, so anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video and all of the videos that are on our channel. If you like this video and you like our how we do things, let us know with a like on the video, but also let us know in the comments what you guys thought about not just Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, but even our channel and what we're doing here. We're always open and we welcome feedback. Be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and share us with your friends. We're also on Facebook at Entertainment Rebooted and Twitter at Exposition Sickle. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next video.
Thanks for watching.